Hello everyone and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going over a report from Representative Andy Biggs of Arizona that he is considering a Senate run against current Senator Mark Kelly. Now, Mark Kelly is the Democratic senator who got elected in 2020, defeating Martha McSally. It was the second time the Republicans lost a Senate seat in 2 years, and Martha McSally was the candidate both times. So naturally, Republicans in Arizona are thinking, all right, we need a different candidate that's not Martha McSally. And the question for Arizona is, who's that Republican going to be? Because a lot of people, including myself, thought that Governor Doug Ducey would be, in my opinion, the perfect candidate for that race. He's not pro-Trump, but he's not really a liberal Republican either. He's kind of like in between, and he'll be able to win a lot of that moderate suburban vote. However, Doug Ducey has declined to run. He says he does not want to run, and he says the division in the Republican Party is the main reason for that. So now the Republicans are kind of left without a really strong candidate to run. And now the question is, who's the candidate going to be? It's looking more and more likely whoever the Republican candidate's going to be, it's going to be a member of the Trump wing of the Republican Party. And many people argue the reason that Arizona went to the Democrats in 2018 and 2020 is because Arizona does not agree with the Trump Republican Party wing. Arizona is very much the Republican Party of John McCain, Jeff Flake, I guess technically Doug Ducey now, as these Republicans who are not Trump Republicans, whose some policies might be similar but don't like the rhetoric of Donald Trump or Donald Trump candidates. So the Republican Party, I think by nominating a Donald Trump candidate, would probably be put at a disadvantage, because Martha McSally was not necessarily a 100% pro-Trump candidate. I know a lot of people tried to make her be a pro-Trump candidate, but she really didn't start off that way, and she wasn't really doing too well in the polls in 2018. So that's when she fully embraced President Trump, hoping that his momentum would help her win. And her numbers in the polls did go up a little bit, but it was not enough for her to win. And then in 2020, she had to run on that same message again, because there really wasn't anything she could do, saying, yeah, well, I've basically lied to you, so vote for me. It's not really a winning message. So Republicans need a strong candidate in 2022. Andy Biggs is a representative from Arizona. I believe he is the chairman of the Freedom Caucus in the House, which is very, very supportive of President Trump. And I think Andy Biggs is a strong candidate who would probably win the primary unless someone with more name recognition ran against him who was able to split the vote and win. One name I keep hearing a lot is Kelly Ward, the chair of the Arizona Republican Party, or Kimberly Yee, who I think is the state treasurer, I believe. Maybe one of them could win the primary against Andy Biggs. I'm not totally sure. But I think Andy Biggs could definitely probably win the primary. The question is then the general election. Would Andy Biggs be able to win statewide? And I'm gonna weigh both sides of this argument. First, I'll weigh the pro-Republican side. Well, Arizona has been a Republican state for a while and only recently flipped to the Democrats in 2018 and 2020. So there is still the strong DNA of voting for Republicans. So Andy Biggs probably could narrowly squeak out a win statewide if Mark Kelly goes too far to the left or consistently votes for the Democrats 100% of the time. I could see Mark Kelly potentially losing on Election Day if the midterms are very, very good swing for the Republican Party. Andy Biggs, while he might be a little unpopular, has the name recognition, and I think name recognition is very, very important statewide in getting a candidate to run, because if the people know who they are, then they're going to remember their name when they go vote for them. So Andy Biggs does have that element. However, now the con side is Andy Biggs is very much in the President Trump mold of the Republican Party. And Arizona's kind of proved in 2018 and 2020 they're not overly big fans of that. They didn't vote for Martha McSally twice. They didn't vote for President Trump against Joe Biden. Many people voting for their Republican House candidate, but not voting for President Trump or Martha McSally. And in 2022, I would expect there'd be even more immigration into the state of Arizona, as we've seen over the last 6 years or so, the trend of immigration into Arizona. I would expect that to continue. So I think Andy Biggs versus Mark Kelly would be a very contentious, high-fought-for race. I think that the fact that Mark Kelly is the incumbent and the fact that Andy Biggs is more in the Trump wing of the party would give Mark Kelly a narrow advantage to start out with. not saying Andy Biggs couldn't win. I think he definitely could. But I think Mark Kelly would start out as the favorite in this race. But that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Andy Biggs considering a run for Senate. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like this video, subscribe so you always get updated whenever I post a new one. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.